Hello! Today we are gonna talk about a Travis Scott concert incident and how it sparked a whole bunch of satanic panic, which I honestly, being connected to that side, really do not appreciate that. I've heard some really bad things about the 80s. I don't want social services questioning me for my sense of style. That is not on the cards that I want to pull this life. Not at all. Let's not start another round of witch hunts. So, anyways, if you haven't known, Travis Scott recently had a concert that potentially used some sort of slightly mysterious imagery, which made a whole bunch of Christians really hella sus. And the venue was trying to fit something like 5 times the amount of people that it was supposed to fit. It was prepared for something like 10,000, they tried to fit in 50,000, and a whole bunch of people suffered from crushing incidents. And it did not help that as the event progressed and crushing incidents were identified, the event was not stopped, postponed, or anything was done about it. Medics were called in, but they had to squeeze past all of the people to get to them, and the concert continued like it was normal. A lot of people are pointing that Travis Scott was singing as paramedics were trying to resuscitate a couple of kids, because the people that died, a lot of them were below the age of 18 as well, which makes this quite the tragedy. The thing is, why are you blaming Satan on something that can be explained by greed or plainly not caring? It's not like humans have an ingrained sense of the absolute need to sacrifice their own happiness for the sake of others, especially if you are in quite the mood to continue singing. You're potentially kind of greedy, and you might not be understanding the situation fully. Apparently, the dude did an apology, and it came off as my lawyer asked me to apologize. And honestly, he's just coming off as a bit of a self-centered asshole, which is probably not that uncommon if you're gonna go through young musicians riding on the high horse. This does not a demon worshipper one make. But because this shit has been trending on my page for 4 days now, I thought let's get through quite a lot of this, because I kind of wanted to get through it. This is a vlog channel now, so this is just what we do. This is what just Murta do. And it is getting to insane levels of kooky. This post is an example. Listen carefully, and by the way, I had to even inspect this person's profile to even see if they're legit, and yeah, they are legit religious, because they're partly coming off as a Minion fan. So with these kind of things, you're like, is this a 4chan account? Is this a troll account? Or is this a legit person? Because the line is just so wibbly wobbly there that it's actually kind of hard to tell. Listen carefully. While fans are trying to save lives, Travis Scott sings the Satanic ritual hymn. Also known as Tetris theme. Also, another thing, a lot of his singing, and apparently a lot of rapper singing in general, is seen as satanic and demonic because they're using autotune. That's obviously not a human voice, that is a robot voice, auto-tuned to all hell. And it has its own sort of rhythm, and it has its own fan base. That was the Tetris theme. It was legitimately the Tetris theme. I want one of these people to come out and give me a full page account on what they believe Satanic ritual, like start to finish, looks like. Because apparently a lot of people gather around in presumably black robes. I'm gonna assume black robes and pentagrams, and there's a lot of sixes and everything. And at some point, somebody starts beatboxing Tetris. Presumably others join in, and they do it with this like completely solemn expression, like this is not only like entirely normal thing to do, but this is not even amusing them, because that is what a ritual hymn would actually be like. And these people are just like, yo, Tetris, pretty satanic. I am convinced that this was a satanic summoning ritual. Open your eyes to a whole new universe is such a vague statement to make. That can be cyber. That can be, let me show you the world. By the way, if apparently Simba can be satanic, just so you know. It can be, let me enhance your senses with my futuristic music and make you understand sound like you never before. Or it could be a cult. But it's a vague statement. A very vague statement, and eyeballs are just how we see, so we have associations with. It's, to me, this almost looks vaporware. Like, you know that very weird 80s shopping mall technology aesthetic? Especially with the roller coaster things, with some people like getting pulled into what looks like to be like a black hole. That sign just looks extra old and outdated. It's just giving me vaporware vibes, and I probably wouldn't mind just like having it somewhere as artwork. It's alright. There was a sculpture of him as an entry point, with the mouth open. Besides the fact that prime moshing location, especially if you want people to squish, because that's low ceiling. I don't even know if you can go through there, because that looks very low ceiling. It had circles and horses, and the dude was wearing a modified portal pick. Well, not everything to do with portals is portal, but red and blue just kinda, it's immediately very Portal the video game aesthetic to me. People died in a giant accident at an event with lots of portal gateway imagery alongside 4 horses. I'm sorry, what would 4 horses even have to do with anything in here right now? Do you believe he was summoning the 4 horses of the apocalypse in the middle of a hip-hop concert? For that would be... It wasn't very successful, was it? You see horses come out of circles? It's pretty imagery, it's very spacey, and that's kind of very Wild Westy. I'm wondering what kind of singy-songy the visuals wenty withy, because normally visuals not goey alone. I did like someone go, did someone say Satanic Panic? Astro World organizers, Astro World attendees. Why would Dungeons and Dragons do this? Dungeons and Dragons version 1 had actual occult symbolism in the magic section of it, which some people picked up on after they joined the occult years later after playing the game, but they wouldn't have done anything on their own. It depends how strong the symbol is. If I wanted, let's say that I was a very, very popular celebrity, right? And I was throwing a concert and I wanted to use the concert ground as a ritual spot. Well, let me show you some sigils, because apparently some of y'all have never seen any sigils. I forget what half of these are for. Oh yeah. Okay, this one. Yep, I remember this one because this one has extra ingredients in it that I can sort of see. I don't think the camera will be able to see. But anyways, this is what a sigil looks like. If you want things to happen, you can do symbolic drawings that carry meaning. If you want to obscure this, you can use art to embed symbolic drawings in order to make them a lot less visible. You can turn symbolic drawings into art in itself, because it's just, in this case, it's arranging letters, but you can also just trance yourself and draw shit if you want to convey a specific meaning, and then you would display that to a lot of people, 50,000 people. Oh, it would be very, very effective, but here's the thing. It's not eyeballs or hands or something that you would recognize. Oh, I found my protection one. I know it because I had to engrave it on my little protection person. It would be something like this, and you wouldn't be able to match it because anyone knowing half their shit would be doing that off symbols that they have gathered themselves, instead of using a specific symbol that you can find online. So if you're trying to go, oh, it's the mountains, it's the horses, those kind of go together, honestly. It's the eyes, it's the hands. Well, whatever you were looking at was potentially occult inspired, not very occult in symbolism. The Satanic ritual sacrifice that occurred at the Travis Scott concert occurred 666 months and 6 days after the Church of Satan was established. This is, when you try too hard to establish the 666 connotation and it doesn't kind of fit, so you have to add 6 days to it. And anything that happened on that day would have technically been 666 months and 6 days after the Church of Satan was established, which has nothing to do with actual Satan worship. They're very atheistic as an organization and currently fighting to get people abortion rights, so that's pretty nice. But you could have eaten a sandwich on that day, and you would have been eating a sandwich on that day. Heck, there was a 1,000,000-person march on London on that day, and they clashed with the police and launched fireworks at them, because remember, the 5th of November. Did everything that everyone did on that day, well, satanic? Like, if you went ice cream shopping, did you get special kind of ice cream? That's the important question for me. Did the ice cream taste different? Was it, I don't know, was it more bloody or something. Remember the 5th of November, dear Axel Balthazar. What even? I mean, what? You wearing a Balthazar, but you're... I mean, I met somebody online today that was calling themselves Lucifer, and they were this edgy teen, and they were absolutely dead set on trying to convince me that if I have hopes and dreams and I am happy, I am a bad and unempathetic person for the whole planet is dying and we all should be miserable all of the time. To which I had to question how a demon that symbolizes light, sometimes inverse light, determination, energy. If you inhale enough of him, peace. How those qualities, how a person that exhibits none of that just decide to like randomly wear that name. It's kind of like this dude just open up with a line from V of Vendetta mostly, but also a true historical event that happened in UK, calls themselves Balthazar, and then tries to further the very Christian belief right now that Satanic panic should be definitely happening, for there is definitely something up. We go back to this kind of symbolism, and I'm just gonna see if I can find the right person. Yeah, there we go. I found it! The Satanic Cabal is known for taking all of its imagery from Guillermo del Toro movies. Astroworld art, Pan's Labyrinth. The occult theme that they're seeing is literally a movie symbolism thing. It's... As I said, if I wanted to perform rituals in front of many people, I would definitely come in prepared with my own sigils and not just hands with eyes. The hands with eyes ain't really... Eyeballs in weird places is just artsy, if anything, unless, of course, you use your I'm trying to find the connection, okay? And from an energetic point of view, I could use my hands to touch energy, which for me is a kind of seeing. Or I can interpret more of the world, but no, I'm not coming up with anything. It's a pretty picture, yes, but hard to find actual connotations outside of artsy. There was a conspiracy theory that 4 corpses on each side, 4 streams of fire on each side, 8 in total. He obviously knew this. Alternatively, it is pretty pyrotechnics spaced at a safe distance with enough of a gap for a musician to be standing in the middle on both sides symmetrically. Can you actually imagine trying to orchestrate this as a ritual sacrifice? You would go, yep, I am overstuffing this venue. I need precisely 8 people to die for some really bizarre reason. I am now just gonna sit in here and hope that specifically 8 people get trampled. Because I overstuffed this venue. It's kind of like just having a super huge bonfire built in the middle of the town and going, I'm just gonna invite a lot of people, and I hope that like somebody gets drunk enough that they get into a fight and that somebody just kind of pushes them into the bonfire. Yep, that is my sacrificial plan. I am sure that this is gonna go down smoothly. Once again, hands and ice. And tripped heavy in the pit at Travis Scott. He is a demon. I am not questioning the fact that you tripped heavy. That trip definitely. I was in the pit, tripping absolute nutsack, watching Travis Scott, and truly believe Travis Scott is a demon sent from hell. Kids, when you do drugs, your sense of self and your sense of the world is not entirely your own. Some people do drugs for higher enlightenment and trance states, but you need to do this very specifically and not just out somewhere in a concert on your own. That's just doing drugs. Don't do drugs, kids. I cannot describe the evil and the darkness that possessed him. Alrighty dokie. Man? Suppose scan my vibes, because with what I work with, I should just be topping your demon sensing charts. I definitely should. I first-hand witnessed his evil spirits pass to many of the fans at the concert. I luckily got out before the darkness consumed me. I highly suggest avoiding his concerts in the future. Baseless claims indicating the tragedy at Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival was in fact a satanic ritual of sacrifice are rapidly spreading on major social media platforms. A lot of it is Facebook, some of it is TikTok. The truth is, what happened in Houston at the Travis Scott Astroworld Festival was a satanic sacrifice ritual, but no one wants to admit it because then you'll have to automatically deemed a wacky conspiracy theorist. Though, don't worry, my religious beliefs are so out there that I'm a wacky something anyway. Look at the promotional material for the event and the lyrics to the new songs, and notice that the symbolism would have been too immature, too out there, and not very effective. 9/11 in New York and 11/6 at the Astroworld in Houston is a mere satanic ritual. What? The devil-worshipping Travis Scott's show was some real hell unleashing its demons on them sheeples with sound frequencies. Autotune. Rapping in autotune in male voice. People who attended there disturbingly felt satanic vibes, like the dude that was tripping balls at a concert. Lamestream fake news are saying there were only 8 deaths due to the stampede, and some fool in the crowd was running and injecting fans with some strange stuff. Cops came out with the story that somebody was using Benadryl, I think it's called. It's a very powerful sedative, and the reason why they're claiming it is because one of the security guards was found unconscious on the job, and they stated that, I must have been injected with the sleepy drug. That must have been what has happened. And media is also running with that, despite the fact that other countries also had crushing incidents due to overstuffing off arena, and what you really need here is more regulation. You need for the staff of the concert to be held accountable, for the singer to be held accountable for he did not stop the show. It doesn't matter if it was greed powering him or if he was just high himself and not in the mood to stop. Something was happening that was obviously not good, even when it's very hard to see over the crowd. The shouts did get to him because at one point he kind of stops and just directs the medics going, is it over there? Something's happening over there. They should have stopped the show. They should have not overstuffed the venue. Less of the staff should have been as apathetic as they were. And they should be taken to court and investigated, and new procedures should be put in place. But if you're just gonna be like, the devil did it, you don't have to do any of this at all. Because the devil did it. Devil's fault. Your eyes wide shut when it's right in your face and you still can't see shit. The fire was full of Freemason occult symbolism. That's very specific now. What does Freemasonry have to do with Satanism? This was a satanic energy harvesting ritual that resulted in 8 people dying. Energy harvest... Alright, I can draw up a way to actually do this, but you definitely don't need anyone to die. The fact that you have 50,000 people paying attention to you would be enough. Once again, you would bring symbolism that other people wouldn't read as legitimate symbolism. Can you power yourself with a lot of energy? Can you direct that to some sort of cause? Yeah, you can. But once again, don't need for people to die. And if you have 50,000 eyes on you, a couple of powerful enough, well-constructed enough sigils will do it. You don't need all of the extra malarkey, because that's Halloween set dressing, if anything. The frequencies is what caused the people to go crazy. We listened to some of them just now, so when you listened to the Tetris theme at the start of this video, did it send you crazy? Feel like going insane right now? Stab your mother? They were hypnotized and under a spell. Yet a lot of people were screaming, there was a lot of commotion, there were shouts to stop, they were trying to tag the attention from the security team, medics were called. Yeah, sounds like everybody was under a spell, mate. Notice the spiral inside the flames, inside the pyramid. Notice the shirt he's wearing, now pay attention to this, see you on the other side. Reference to a portal that appeared, then 8 flames go up and 8 people die. This dude was looking at the dead bodies while performing. This dude was likely slightly high, and once again, this would be the amateur hour of sacrificial rituals for you literally set up the scene for potential tramplings by overstuffing the venue 5 times and just kind of hoping that it will work. Just your plan requires a lot of shit to go your way and you have no idea whether or not it will happen. Therefore, it's a pretty badly executed plan. It's like me going, alright, I wanna meet a guy that I wanna date. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna chew bubblegum, then when I am around the target that I find remotely dateable, I'm gonna spit on the floor and I'm gonna hope that he's gonna slip and fall, and then I will catch him at just the right moment and that is how we're gonna hit it off, because he's gonna feel very grateful at the fact that he didn't hit the floor. Like, this requires for the person to step on my bubblegum, for them to actually slip, for me to be successful at catching them, and for them to find that action to be impressive. It's a very long list of actions that can just definitely not happen. And when we're taking 50,000 people on an arena that should have not been supporting that many people, and if you're aiming for very specifically 8 deaths, you have so many chances of hitting 0 and so many chances of hitting far above 8. It's just, the luck factor would have to be insane, making it for a very bad ritual if you wanted to see it from that perspective. And I like how one of the pictures proving their point is a YouTuber reacting to Travis Scott performs Satanic ritual on a man at Astroworld Music Festival. Alternatively, trying to propose that as their idea, and thankfully, I was about to say, I'm sorry, checkmark, you okay there, spreading wild theories, but they're just reporting on it. You can literally feel the evil dark energy coming of these event promos. Yeah, candle. Let me try and do a thing. To be fair, I'm probably the absolute wrong person to do this, but if I focus on the other side. It's slightly webby, which would be kind of expected of a promotional material, sort of like, get pulled in, come over to my concert, come see me. Otherwise, there's very little residue of absolutely anything. I've had some strong reactions to some people and things before, but I'm just slightly warm, not cold, not hot. It's very, yeah, it's not very active. And I can do the same for all of them, but this one is a lot more when it comes to being webby, of just, hey, come see me, please. Come on over to the thing, doing a thing, and bye, and I'm once again not. I mean, I normally don't try to vibe check ads because that is just a pretty weird thing to do, but it vibes at the level that a ad should vibe, I would assume. Well, can be possible that other ads I would pick up nothing at all off them at all, and this one just has a low vibe, but it's not the kind of vibe that I am expecting of things made with intent by somebody that knows what they're doing. With those, you sometimes will get visuals, colors, tastes, ideas. If somebody else makes a pretty occult picture, I will end up guessing in the ballpark as to what it's about. If it's a picture meant to remove your bad energies and put them into the ground, it normally feels kind of earthy. And earthy is not necessarily a nice feeling. I mean, it's nice if you stick your hand in it. It's not so nice if you put dirt in your mouth. If they want to repulse you, you can feel something fairly swampy. At least I do. I find swamps to be, for some reason, in real life I kind of like swamps, but in this sort of thing, it's just swamps come off the wrong way for me. Very wrong way for me. I'm not getting any of it. I'm getting at most ad vibes. They always tell you what they plan to do. Why would they? Why? Who is they and why would they? This is... They. I mean, do they have a grace period of... Is there a rule that they have to warn you because somebody forgot to tell me the rule and I can do shit without telling you that I was gonna do shit? See on the other side flashed before Travis Scott took the stage. This was a ritual human sacrifice disguised, because that is definitely a phrase that we don't normally use in regular life, and that can't be a phrase that came from anywhere else, and it is very exclusive to this specific time and obviously has a code meaning. Once again, we have somebody going, oh hey look, the entryway, and comparing it to a painting. And this person goes, like for real y'all are posting pictures, paintings to represent hell next to Travis Scott's opening decor for Astroworld instead of realizing it's literally a copy of Astroworld Park. Satanic panic getting out of hand and you're all dumb as hell. There's literally an amusement park over there. I have seen one very interesting claim, by the way, that I think the person wasn't being serious, because that was quite a reach, but some took it serious. I just found it funny because they were like, Astro World, Astro, Astral, Star, Morning Star, Lucifer. And there's other people that are going, Travis Scott is Satan confirmed, and dudes, I really don't want police to be knocking on my door one day trying to witch hunt and trial me because I dress black, I do tarot readings, and I have a let's say a funky faith. So can y'all cut it out with the fear mongering, because I promise you, if somebody wanted to do something occult to you, they wouldn't use symbolism that you would find to be obvious. There's absolutely no reason to do this. If somebody wanted to do a human sacrifice, they wouldn't just set up a fairly unlikely span of events and just hope that they work out. Not that it's even needed, but let's say, because killing somebody is pretty potent energy, but when you have 50,000 people that are already very glued their eyes on you, there's a lot of energy in the area as it is. You're not personally involved in the murder, it's not intimate in any way, and you're just kind of hoping that it's very specifically 8 people because that is how many flamethrowers you got prepared for special effects. It would be the clumsiest sacrifice of the whole existence of humankind, probably. This is not your endorsement to resort to human sacrifice. I'm just saying that this would be a very lame way to do it, and definitely not the way to do it if you were gonna do it. Now, dear police that probably has suddenly taken an interest in this video, I have no fucking reason to go around sacrificing absolutely anyone because there's legitimately no need. I don't know what kind of ritual you would be performing that you would feel the need to have a full person down. I mean, even a lot of faiths that deal with more heavy shit tend to use chickens, rats, cats sometimes, using... I don't know what the heck you would be trying to do if you felt the need to use a full person outside of come off as insane, edgy, and get yourself arrested, honestly. I don't know, maybe I've run the wrong circles. Maybe somebody would be like, well, you see, if you're trying to summon the whole Antichrist, then you definitely do need 8 sacrifices on the stage. Well, dear honey, in that case, why didn't anything happen? Could it be that the easier explanation is that they overstuffed the venue and now are trying to avoid taking personal responsibility for it because that would require self-reflection and perhaps better regulations for the future? And could that be it? Because I somehow think that could be it. I'm also wondering, why do other professions don't use similar tactics? No need to investigate that plane crash, matey. Satan did it. Why? Well, you see, the plane, it had like 4 points, yeah, and when it was in the air, it can sort of look like a cross, but like the wrong way around, so like an inverse cross. So obviously all planes are off the devil, so no need to figure out what the heck happened and why it went down. Let's just forego all of that investigatory reasons. Let's just say Satan did it. Yeah, that will fix all of our problems. Not like this can ever happen ever before, now that we have addressed all of our problems by blaming Satan. Not like this is gonna cause any issues to people with funky faiths. So not sorry. I don't see anything. Believe what you will. If you follow Jesus, but I guarantee you, this situation can be easier explained by apathy, lack of regulations, greed, and potentially a very, very high young rapper. And when the situation can be explained fairly easily, you don't need to hook Satan to it. That doesn't help you in any way, shape, or form. If you believe that people need more Jesus, that's fine. Carry that belief in your heart and pray to Jesus and go to church and make sure that you're a good citizen and try and keep yourself pure and try and keep your family pure, but maybe don't go around proposing wild theories about a tragedy that happened at a concert simply because you don't understand imagery, so imagery be scary. It's really not helping anyone. So this has been a very long video. Thank you all that are still around. I'm just. What comes goes, so I'm just gonna assume that this is gonna die out with the next wave of outrage the same way as it always does, because I really don't want to repeat the decade where we're literally witch hunting, because yeah, witches are a thing. I mean, they're around. Hello? No reason to tie us to stakes and burn us. People with funky faiths also exist. Pagans exist. Still no reason to just tie us stakes and burn. It actually makes me think that if you took the time to know more people, you might have an easier time understanding them, and everything in the world might seem a tiny bit less scary. So maybe do that. But anyways, thank you for watching and see you next time.